every now and then comes a car in your life that basically tells you to shut up, and rightly so. Right now I'm out of words. I don't know what to say, and all I have are emotions. My hands are sweaty, I have goosebumps, my heartbeat is on the rise, and this is what happens when you are right next to a car like the Rolls Royce Spectre. For the past 1 hour, when others were shooting the car, I was just staring at this marvelous piece of engineering, trying to gather some courage to speak to you and tell you more about what is the first ever EV from the house of Rolls Royce. As a kid, I grew up thinking about this luxury masterpiece. When you talk about luxury on four wheels, there is nothing better than this brand around the world. In fact, way back in 1900, Charles Rolls, he had the idea of getting EV into the business with the RR brand way back 120 years back. The reality has happened a few years back. The real world testing started, and 2024, this is the most expensive exclusive shoot I am doing or will be doing throughout the year. It's gone on sale in the Indian market, and the asking price is 750000. Not a phone number, that is the ex-showroom price before you pay for RTO or insurance in your state to get this one home. It is super expensive, possibly the pinnacle of luxury, but India is a market that brands understand, and one delivery actually took place a few weeks back. That is the reality. I'll talk about the exteriors, I'll put away the chair, and in a world of EVs where electric cars basically try to look out of the future, this is what RR stands for. There are few funky new elements, but basically anyone on the road who understands the brand will know it is from Rolls Royce. In spite of the flat front, the grille is there is no engine over here. In spite of the flat front, the level of engineering means this is the most aerodynamic Rolls Royce anywhere on sale in the world. A coefficient drag of 0.25. How is that possible? Well, a few elements, for example, even the Spirit of Ecstasy has been redesigned to ensure that the whole car cuts through air in a very, very nice manner. Modern day elements, you have the DRLs coming on this side and then the headlamps as well. And when you have the lights on, the grille has as many as 22 soft LEDs for the lighting part. So if you're cruising down a posh road in Mumbai or Bangalore at night, this part will be illuminated. If you come on the side profile, it is a coupe as of now. This will not be sold or made as a 4-door or an SUV avatar, only a coupe. So this aside, so 2 doors and a proper 4-seater. Over 5 meters in length, over 2 meters in width. That is how a Rolls Royce is supposed to look like. It is a successor of the Phantom Coupe, and the wheels are the largest ever on an RR. These are 23 inches and they fill the cab pretty well. And then the single largest panel on any Rolls Royce, it starts right over here, right on the A panel, goes all the way to the rear where the LED lights come into the picture. The whole panel is the single largest panel ever to be seen on a production Rolls Royce. And look at this, the rear is completely clutter-free. It's clean, just simple 2 LED bars for the tail lights on either side, the RR logo. And that's about it. So why go overboard? Why go funkier? It's an EV, right? But it maintains the aura that people, when they pay for an RR, is known for. So a coupe profile comes in over here, and again to the front of the car. Over 5 meters, over 2 meters in width, and substantial amount of road presence. The color combination is nice. And I'll do one thing, I'll stop on the exterior part, let you look at the car once again, and then we step inside the second home of owners, the interiors. So whenever you drive your Rolls Royce EV on the roads, the logo will remain straight. And I'll do one thing before the interiors. Let's talk about the powertrain. There is no engine over here, but it's a typical long bonnet, and what you get are 2 electric motors on both the ends. The combined output is almost 600 horses and the torque is 900 Nm. What does this mean? Well, for a car that weighs almost 3000 kgs, it can do 0 to 100 in less than 5 seconds. Now from the weight, you have most of the weight is from the battery pack, which is under the floor, around 750 kgs, and then there is additional 200 kgs of sound damping material used across the whole body, and that is why the doors are powered. They're very heavy. You can close them in a powered manner. I'll explain you on the inside. The battery pack is 102 kilowatt hour and it supports really fast DC charging, as fast as getting a range of 100 kilometers in 9 minutes. Those kind of chargers are not on Indian roads, and The range of this is approximately 500 kilometers. It may sound less as of now on paper, but the company spoke to a lot of owners of this brand, and they basically have almost 5 to 7 cars in their garage or a private jet. So in case someone wants to go really long distance, they can take some other car or the private jet. But for your golf meetings or going to your yacht for a sea holiday, this one at 500 kilometers for the owners does the job very well. And now let's step inside this masterpiece. What you see here is the longest door on any production Rolls Royce anywhere in the world. Very important because you need to get into the rear seat as well. For now, I will just get into the driver's throne and speak to you about the car. I told you they have used over 250 kgs of sound damping materials. The doors are heavy, and to close them, I just need to press the brake. Look at this. Super good. And this is, by the way, the key of the Rolls Royce EV, and I'll just wait there for a few seconds. It is leather wrapped as well, the Spectre. Interiors, a few things that people love and appreciate. A is the night sky element. Till now, it was only available on the roof. So if you're seated over here, you really can't look at the roof and drive. So what they've done is they've given the same kind of effect on the doors you can make out, and on the dashboard on the left side. This is where your logo, your naming of the Spectre comes in, and the lights over here. A lot of things are add-ons. For example, this clock is an add-on and will end up costing you lakhs in the extra money. Interiors, modern day element, 2 screens over here. Not a very funky or outlook looking steering wheel. So I think owners of Rolls Royce don't want things to be very loud. They want sophistication, they want the modern elements, and they want the luxury. What I found out is they've done a good thing. They haven't gone over the board to give this a clutter-less cabin. Sometimes modern day cars are simply flat with screen. Here you have proper touch buttons, something I love. Look at this. And whenever I scroll my hand on the buttons, whatever function they have been assigned to will be coming up on the screen. Next, you've heard about leather wrap steering wheel or leather wrap gear levers. Here you have leather wrap soft touch materials for your infotainment and for your AC. This is actually proper leather on the upper part as well. And then you have proper metal inserts for the AC vents. And you make this out? This is metal on this and on the sides as well. The interior color combination, well, there are infinite number of bespoke solutions that the company will offer you to customize. You and I, we all know about it. What is important is that you might be going out as 2 couples or 4 friends. That is where the space and the comfort comes into the picture. Of course, powered seats and seat ventilation is all over there. But look at this. I stand 6 feet tall with a generous build, and if I'm driving my Rolls Royce on a European road, I do not need to worry about the amount of headroom left over here. Getting into the rear, I'll show it to you. The space at the rear, I'll show it to you. But what they've done is, because it's an EV, there is no sound and 200 kgs of extra sound damping materials. We won't be driving the car, but what I've heard from international reviewers is that it's spookily silent on the inside, and that was expected from the Rolls Royce brand. Once again, I want to highlight that there are ample amount of buttons over here. What I can also do is, if the co-driver door is open, I can close it from the buttons over here. If I can just move slightly behind, I will actually close the co-driver door as well. So buttons and more buttons, even to activate the seat ventilation, you have buttons on the door pad. So I'm a big fan of these things. I wanted dials on the inside, but you have a digi console coming in over here for the power reserve, for the range, and for the speed function as well. Now moving on, it's got a DG architecture called Spirit, and that basically controls all the car functions. As expected, it is the most connected car in the history of Rolls Royce. Now I told you we won't be driving the car, but it's got a planar suspension. It basically can control a lot of sensors. So when you're hitting a corner, various sensors will get activated, and depending on the imperfections on the road, your ride will be as comfortable as ever. International reviewers who have driven the car have actually rated this as the most comfortable RR on sale in the market. Now, as a bonus tip, this is something known with the Rolls Royce cars. You do have the umbrella still in the EV. So in case it's a rainy day, you know where the umbrella comes in this car. And now, as you can make out, there is ample amount of space to get into the rear seat. I told you it's a 2-door 4-seater. And is the rear comfortable for tall people? Let me check out. This is where we can actually enjoy the night sky treatment of the roof and the door panels over here. Space is surprisingly generous on the back. Anyone who is 5'9", 5'10" can easily fit in for a long journey. The windows also roll down over here, so you don't feel claustrophobic. You have a 4-zone climate control, a different temperature setting for the 2 passengers, and a sizable armrest to take care of your comfort needs on a long drive. So it's a proper 4-seater coupe that's comfortable without sacrificing on the headroom or the space or the luxury appeal. And that wraps up my walk around of the Rolls Royce Spectre. Now, people usually say EVs are here, the EVs are the future. Yes, very much across categories. We just came back from Bangalore for our India Book of Record with an electric SUV, and now we have the epitome of electric luxury anywhere in the world. Expensive for sure, but something you can dream about every night.